On the morning of September 30th, 2025, South Africa woke up to a headline that felt like a punch to the soul. Emmanuel Nkosinathi Mthethwa, former minister and current ambassador to France, had died under mysterious circumstances. And now, just days after his funeral, the nation finds itself not only mourning a public figure, but questioning the very nature of grief itself, as all eyes turn to his widow, Philisiwe Bhuthelezi. For those unfamiliar with the man behind the name, Nathi Mthethwa was a towering figure in South African politics. He served as Minister of Police, then Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, and finally as ambassador to France. His career spanned decades of activism, governance, and controversy. He was no stranger to scrutiny, but no one expected his final chapter to end like this. According to French authorities, Mthethwa fell from the 22nd floor of a Paris hotel. His wife had reported him missing the night before. The official cause unknown. But the public isn't convinced. Whispers of foul play, political pressure, and hidden truths have begun to swirl. And in the eye of this storm stands Philisiwe Bhuthelezi, the woman who shared his life, and now, his legacy. Her tribute at the funeral was poetic, raw, and deeply moving. She called him her king, her protector, her eternal flame. Her words painted a portrait of love so profound it seemed to transcend death itself. But what followed in the days after the funeral has left many South Africans stunned. Videos began to surface. Clips of Philisiwe smiling, laughing, even appearing lighthearted at memorial events. Some saw grace. Others saw something else entirely. "She doesn't look like a grieving widow," one commenter wrote. "Where are the tears?" another asked. The comparisons came swiftly, most notably to Connie Ferguson, whose public mourning after the death of her husband Shona Ferguson had gripped the nation with its raw vulnerability. Connie's grief was visible, visceral, and unfiltered. Philisiwe's, some argue, was polished, composed, almost theatrical. And in a country where mourning is sacred, where grief is often worn like a badge of honor, this difference has ignited a cultural debate that goes far beyond one woman's behavior. Did you expect this twist? Could anyone have predicted that the focus would shift so quickly from the tragedy of Nathi's death to the emotional performance of his widow? The reactions have been fierce. Social media exploded with opinions. Some defended Philisiwe, saying grief has no script. Others accused her of insincerity, of masking something darker. Even ANC leader Becky Seal weighed in, condemning the public for what he called heartless and animalistic behavior. He compared the nation to Sodom and Gomorrah, lamenting the loss of humanity and conscience. But the scrutiny didn't stop there. At the funeral itself, chaos erupted, not over politics, but over food. A viral video showed mourners scrambling for meals, grabbing multiple packs, pushing through crowds. It was a scene of desperation, of hunger, of broken dignity. And it raised another question. What does this say about the state of our society? How would your community respond if this happened there? Would you see it as disrespect or as a cry for help? The truth is, this story isn't just about one woman's grief. It's about a nation grappling with loss, inequality, and the uncomfortable reality of public mourning. It's about how we judge others, how we project our expectations, and how we sometimes forget that behind every headline is a human being. Philisiwe Bhuthelezi may not have cried in front of cameras, but her written tribute was drenched in sorrow. "You are my sunshine, my eternal flame," she wrote. "Though death has hidden you from my eyes, nothing can quench the fire you've lit in my soul." These are not the words of someone untouched by pain. Still, the questions persist. Was her composure a mask? Was it strength? Was it denial? Or was it simply her way of surviving the unimaginable? In South African culture, mourning is often communal. It's loud. It's visible. It's shared. But grief is also deeply personal. And in the age of social media, where every gesture is recorded, every expression dissected, the pressure to perform grief correctly has never been higher. Some psychologists argue that grief manifests in stages: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Not everyone cries. Not everyone collapses. Some people laugh. Some people smile. Some people go numb. And yet, the public demands tears, demands visible suffering, demands proof. This expectation isn't new. We've seen it before in celebrity deaths, in political funerals, in viral tragedies. The widow who doesn't cry becomes the villain. The mourner who smiles becomes the suspect. And in Philisiwe's case, the stakes are even higher. She's not just a grieving wife. She's the widow of a powerful man. A man whose death raises questions about diplomacy, mental health, and political pressure. A man whose legacy is tangled in both triumph and controversy. And now, her every move is being watched, not with compassion, but with suspicion. The media has played its part. Headlines dissect her outfits. Commentators analyze her tone. TikTok users remix her speeches. And somewhere in all this noise, the actual tragedy, the loss of a human life, gets buried beneath speculation. Do you believe justice has really been served? Or are we too quick to point fingers, too eager to find fault in the way others mourn? As the investigation continues in France, more details may emerge. Was there a note? Were there signs? Was Nathi Mthethwa truly alone in that hotel room? Or was someone else involved? These questions linger like smoke over a fire that refuses to die. But beyond the mystery, beyond the politics, lies a deeper truth. Grief is not a performance. It's not a script. It's not a spectacle. It's a wound. And wounds heal differently for everyone. This story matters because it forces us to confront our own biases. It challenges our assumptions about how people should behave in the face of tragedy. And it reminds us that public figures, no matter how powerful, are still vulnerable to the same storms of emotion that touch us all. The consequences of this moment could be far-reaching. If the public continues to dissect and judge the private pain of others, we risk losing something vital: empathy. And without empathy, what kind of society are we building? As we close this chapter, let us remember Nathi Mthethwa not just for his titles, but for his humanity. Let us honor his legacy by choosing compassion over condemnation. And let us give space for grief, for healing, and for truth. If this story moved you, if it made you think, if it stirred something deep within, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more powerful real-life stories that challenge, inspire, and reveal the soul of our society. Because behind every headline is a heartbeat, and every heartbeat deserves to be heard.